And a warm welcome to our special guest, the alumni from NHC, Mr. Narasimha Naidu. It's a great pleasure to welcome such a noted personality as our guest of honor today. So, on behalf of one of our present guests, I will take a golden moment to read his profile. Mechanical engineering by his background, founder and CEO of STEMx India, and educational management, giving learning experience for the children who is aspiring to become techies and engineers. Mentor of change in Niti Aayog, their team work with group of government and private schools to provide free training and workshops on STEM education. I welcome you, directly, sir. Now I welcome our guest, Mr. Narasimha Naidu, to carry over the presentation.
Good morning, students.
Good morning.
Just to introduce myself, in 2016, just to say, it was 1NH 12ME 734 was my USN, and I was basically from Andhra Pradesh, from a place called Chittoor. It is very close to Bangalore. I think someone is from Chittoor there. So, yeah. And I studied there till 7th grade, and then due to some reasons and things, we came back to Bangalore, and from 8th grade I studied in Bangalore, and when it came to college, it was New Baldwin's. I studied my +1 and +2, and then it was New Horizon College, where I started with engineering in 2012. It was 2012, and I was an average student when it comes to studies. Right? In just to give you an idea, in 11th grade, I failed in 11th grade, and I was there at home for 1 year in 11th grade. So due to some reasons, once 10th is over, you get some freedom, and I explored all those, and finally in 11th grade, they don't fail normally. So I was there in NCC, and due to some additional extracurricular activities, they forcefully, I mean, like, it was, we deserved that time. Right, and then I was there at home when I was in 11th grade, and for 1 year, and I was doing some C language or C++. Someone told, why you will sit at home? You try something like C language or C++, which is good, right? So then in that 1 year, I saw people like, say, from, you know how they speak in village, right? They got to know that I failed in 1 year, and they used to speak, you know what it would be, and how our parents face those situations and things like that. And even in Bangalore, it was the same. And then is where I understood at least we need some good marks, to get into engineering, so that we'll get a good job, right? So, and then as that 1 year went on like that, and then again I joined one of the college in Bangalore itself, and I completed my 12th with 60 percentage or so, and then I had some NCC and all this, so I could get a seat in New Horizon in mechanical department. So even mechanical, it was not planned actually. So I don't know what to choose when I was in when I wanted to go to engineering, right? So someone told, like, if you take computer science or electronics, you need to go only for those, and if you take mechanical, you can go to computer science or mechanical or electrical, anything. So my parents were like, why not, we'll go for mechanical engineering itself, right? And then that is where even I was unknowingly I joined mechanical itself, right? So there are certain advantages and disadvantages, I would say, in mechanical engineering. So that's one thing, and then it all went, still I was around 65 I was managing to get 60-65% in all the semesters, and in one semester I got out of like more than 70 percentage, you can say. And then it came to placement. So why I joined engineering is to get a job and do a job basically. So yeah, so then there were a lot of companies which used to come, and one was TCS. So that was a mass recruiter that time, and we tried a lot, and I prepared a lot for. I was eligible as I was having more than the aggregate was 60 plus. So then it all went well, and I couldn't get in with TCS and Wipro, Tech Mahindra. So all these companies went, and finally I thought I should try out somewhere outside, right? And then is where some edtech company came for placement. So they wanted some trainers, who wants to go to schools and train something on technology to school students, right? So few of them, I think around 10 to 12 of us got placed in that company from New Horizon, and that is where it started, I can say. So I joined as a trainer in Delhi Public School North. It's there near Yelahanka, and Monday to Friday I used to go to school and teach students of age grade 1 till grade 10, right, on basic concepts of coding, robotics, artificial intelligence, app development. So this might sound bigger, but for school students it's all diluted, I can say. Like if you say coding, it will be a drag and drop graphic user interface based coding, and then it will go to C language, JavaScript and Python, this kind of programming languages, right? And then is where I was there with the startup for a few years, and as you know, the startup environment will be like you need to be part of everything, right? So you need to be a trainer, you need to be in marketing, sales, so all this. So I more or less understood the complete business, how an edtech companies work. So I got a complete ideology, but still I thought of giving it a try. So and I resigned my job after a couple of years or 3 years, I guess. So then I went on to few schools, right? So I told I'll do a free demo, and in schools and in our education system there is a flaw, I can say. There is no much hands-on learning is what in our education system. So I'll come back to that point in some time. This is about my journey, where from school, from college, what I was doing in college, and the placements, or then a job, and then how I started a business, right? And about STEMx, it's a COVID company. It started in 2020, and so even a lot of edtech companies, who do it hands-on. So it is very good for the online companies, online edtech companies, because they do it over internet. Someone like Byju's or the White Hat Junior or Vedantu. So these are all online players. So we are online plus offline players. So we have solutions for both, right? So if you need to solve a problem completely, so you should not be in only one domain. So like not only in online. So you should be in offline and even in schools. So that is what we believed, and that is how we are different from the other big companies. So, but still we are a small company. It's a 2-year-old edtech startup, and we are a 5-member team, and so I'll get into those as well. Right? So what do we do? So here you can see we do online live STEM. So STEM means science, technology, engineering and math, right? So being in school, this is completely for school students, right? So whatever we provide the solutions, it's all for school students from grade 1 till grade 10 or it can go up till 12, so not more than that. So we do online live STEM, so where we have 2000 plus students subscribed and are on taking our programs over the globe. So as it is a live program, if you have a laptop and have a good internet, and the world is yours, right? So we have students from maximum 80% of students from India, all over India, and we have students from Dubai, USA, UK, Japan, and Singapore. So these are the 5 countries which currently our online STEM program is going on, right? So STEM, in the sense, as I told, like science, technology, engineering, and math, where we teach robotics, coding, AI, drone technology, all this technology with related to math and science in schools. So using all these tools, we teach math and science so where it becomes a practical learning for students, and the understanding of the concept will be better. For example, students will build a robot, right, and they'll code the robot to make the robot move forward. In that, they're learning engineering and technology, and the math and science, we teach concepts. If the robot moves, we teach force, acceleration, speed, velocity. So this kind of concept we integrate with technology, right? So that's why schools want us to be they want to place a STEM lab in their schools. So where we place a lab, and also we provide services in schools. It can be online or offline. Right, so that's about the online live STEM education. So it's more of, you need to have a laptop. In online, how do we do is, we have simulators. So all this practical physical tools we will not be providing. If they want, we will provide this as well, and we will do online training. And we have more of simulators, so the students work with them. And STEMx Studios, so these are the studios or the labs which we have in Bangalore. We have one in Whitefield and one in Indiranagar. So we have 2 studios, and where we have 500 plus students step in every week. So it's a recurring classes. So they go for long-term courses, and they explore all this robotics, coding. So from school itself. So I still remember when we were in college, we study all this sensors and motors or 3D printing in our textbooks, right? So, but in school itself, we thought of having all these programs to students, and that was a problem which was there in school education. Nothing practical thought. So we thought of stepping in and doing this in schools, right? So STEMx Studios are more of physical centers which we have in Bangalore. And we are also having plans to expand it all over South India, like Tier 1 cities like Hyderabad, Chennai and Kochi. These are all the places where we already have franchisees, where they buy our curriculum and products from us and run it in their places, but not in full-fledged way. But going forward, once this COVID and things settle down, or if it reduces a little, so we are planning to expand our offline business as well. And then we have STEM in schools, right? So this is the most interesting part, where school onboards us by placing a STEMx lab in their school, and we take all those 3D printers or the robotic kits or the electronic kits or the drones. So drones, in the sense, they program the drones. Drone technology is going to be the future. All this Swiggy and Zomato, you have a person getting it to you now, and it's going to be using drones. They're going to deliver down the line in another 4 or 5 years, right? So whatever we teach in schools, it's all practically happening in the world. Like robotics, it's already there in hospitals, and we have it in. There is a robot restaurant in Indiranagar, right? So where robots serve food. And if you say about drone technology, as I told, it's going to be down the line. It's going to be there in live. And electronics, we see. Basically, it's for school students, right? So they need to understand the practicality, how things work, and how technology works. So that's the main ideology why we are focusing on school market, right? So this is about STEM in school, and it's not only teaching technology students practically, we also take them for international competitions. That's what it's robotics competitions. It's there is one competition called World Robotics Olympiad and one called First Lego League, right? So these competitions happen over the globe, right? So it would be initially in regionals in Bangalore, and then nationals somewhere in India, and then the teams qualify for regionals and nationals, they go for international. So 2019 was the last. I was a trainer, so I trained one team, and our team represented in Lebanon. So it was a 6-member team. So teams from India, from South India, we can see more or less 10 teams. So you see the competition will be like that. 100 teams participate, 10 teams qualify for nationals, and 2 or 3 teams qualify for international from India, right? So the competition will be mostly these programs are run in tier 1 schools, like you can see have with them, and run these programs and train those students for international competitions, right? And the fifth part, what we do is using all these tools and things, as I told, we teach math and science concepts to school students. So that is where the schools are more happier with our program. It's not about something technology we are teaching to them. It's more of the concepts are taught practically, and they're performing better in the school exams. Right, so this is the 5 business units what we do, and we work with 5 schools. Being a startup, it was difficult to get into a school, and we tried a lot, by giving a free demo or things like that. And we had teacher trainings, we had student trainings to, at least to make them understand what we do. Right, firstly, they don't know what STEM education is and how it works. But if you say countries like USA and mostly the Western countries, STEM is very famous, right? All the schools and parents in Western countries, they know about STEM education and the importance of STEM education. And from past 4 or 5 years, I can say in India also there is a good traction. Like people are getting to know about. In India, if you say coding or robotics, they'll understand very well. Like coding, there are a lot of companies, which have started, and they do a lot of business in internet online, right? And the 5 schools are all the international schools which we work in Bangalore, and then we work with 3,000 plus students in past 24 months. We had it is more than 8,000 if you say. Like there are people who take demos and who sign up for a demo and then would not be interested. But currently ongoing, we have 3,000 plus students onboarded, and we have 2 STEMx Studios in Bangalore, as I told, in Whitefield and Indiranagar, and we are a 5-member team, and we work with a lot of interns, right? And these are the STEM subjects which we teach. You can see coding, AI, app development, game development, robotics, electronics, 3D printing, and drone technology. Right? So we have all the physical tools, to teach all these subjects practically to students online, offline, and in schools. Right? So this is our growth chart. So it's not those unicorns or the big companies which are already the edtech companies which are already there. We are a very small startup, and the main agenda is you can raise funds and millions of funds, and you can start. So we had a couple of offers even as such, but we thought of not taking any funds, and there would be a lot of pressure if you go with funds, and also you should have that capability. So I felt we'll have a slow and steady start, and whatever we do, it's internal funding. it's from my family or from my side, the funding. With that, we thought of running this business. And in the year 2020, we started in Feb or the end of Jan. And Jan to June 2020, we were able to make 12 lakhs business. It is more of online business. And 2020 July, the second half of 2020, we were able to make 20 lakhs. And it was a confusion state for us. The 32 lakhs which we made, it goes more for salaries or for marketing part, and only 30 to 40% we were able to save for STEMx, right? And in 2021 we got an idea how COVID is and what it is and how we need to go forward with the business. So we were able to make more or less 50 lakhs business in 2021, so closing this last year. And we were able to save certain good money in 2021, right? So this is about the commercial part of our startup. And so also I would like to ask, how many of you just bunked your class and something is happening in Falcon Hall and we just came to see that? How many of you came like that? Yeah, even I used to come like that, even without knowing the content. So something is happening, I would just like to skip my class and something somewhere is happening, I'll just go with my friends. To tell you, this 6 tricks challenge, if you see these ducks, these are all different, just shows how different each student is, right? And each student is different from one another, and it's the same when it comes to living part. Once you finish your engineering, so you will choose different streams, right? One goes to job, and one helps their dad's business, and one start their own business. So everyone are different, right? So that's what the Lego 6 Brick Challenge defines, right? And the most important topic or the main theme of this topic is job or an entrepreneur, right? So how many of you want to be an entrepreneur here or run your own business? It can be a small business or helping your dad's business or running your own business, anything. So out of more or less 60 to 70 students, we have some 6 to 7 students. What HOD told was correct. So out of 100%, you will see 10 to 15% of them being an entrepreneur or running your own business, right? But I would recommend to take risk, not only this 10 people, I would recommend you to take a risk, like not in the early stage of your business, early stage of your career. Maybe after a couple of years or after a few years, you can try, right? So there is no wrong in trying. So Infosys founder Narasimha Naidu, who was there, who was trying for a job in Wipro, right? So he left his job and then he wanted to join Wipro very badly, and due to his family situations and things like that, and he couldn't crack the interview, and he had that skills, the managerial skills or the technical skills, where he can start a company, but then that was a thing which changed what he is now, right? So he would have got a job in Wipro, he would have been a top manager or a director or some good position in Wipro, but now he created an empire, right? So what did he do? He took a risk, right? So I would recommend or suggest you all to even try out sometime to start your own business, right? So these are all the job holders. So they are all CEOs and directors in the top companies which are there, and the owners who are there or the founders who are there, they just give suggestions to the CEOs who are there, Sundaram Pichai or Satya Nadella or Narayana Murthy or or the IBM CEO. So they are all the successful CEOs. There is no wrong in doing job as well, right? So you can even earn much more than a founder of a small company. So there is no wrong in doing a job, and you need to put your efforts, and you can solve a lot of problems when you are doing in your job as well, right? And if you say about entrepreneurs, we have I respect and a lot Ratan Tata, who's there, and these are all the successful founders and top entrepreneurs whom we can say. And we have recently two other companies founders, women entrepreneurs, like from Nykaa, and we had from Canva. Canva is design company. It's one of the top companies over the globe, right? So we even have women entrepreneurs equal to men, right? So qualities of an entrepreneur, or even if you are doing job, this applies, right? I'm not differentiating between a job or an entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur has this skills. You know, he's a self-motivated. So basically, there are people to suggest you what to do and what not to do, and you need to know what you are doing, right? So you just cannot say, I'll take risk and I'll just finish my degree and I'll take risk and I'll start a business. You can't do that. You need to do some research, you need to be self-motivated, and you need to know what you need to do, right? So you need to take some time before doing something. Even it can be a college project, right? So you should be a self-motivated in the beginning. And problem solving. So when it comes to me, this was the problem. The educational system which is there in schools, it was stuck only for the textbooks, right? So I thought of solving a problem to teach them practically, right? With technology plus the school subjects like math and science. That was a problem which I felt it was there in school education system, and I thought of solving it, and we had a pretty positive response from schools that students are learning things practically, and there is a good grip in technology as well as they are doing robotics, coding, and the other STEM subjects which I told. So if you need to be an entrepreneur, you need to see what are the problems which are happening over the globe. Not only education, it can be the traffic, or it can be in hospitals, or it can be in engineering colleges, or anything. Whatever you see, you need to see where are the problems, right? So my motivation was Ritesh Agarwal, who is the founder of OYO, and he found that the problem was like the hotels were not managed well, and he gave a very good idea, and there are more than 500 copycats to OYO now, and so I used to listen to a lot of motivational speeches and business coaches trainings before I started my business. So I was doing a lot of background work, you know, creating my own logo, or the Facebook business page, or Instagram business page, or the website which is there, or LinkedIn profile. So all this, and I used to post some random things related to my startup, right? So you need to find the problem and try to solve it. So that's what problem solving mindset is all about. And you need to be proactive in the sense, as I told, you need to have all this done before you start your business, like creating business pages, or having your own websites, or the Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn business pages and YouTube channel. So all these things you should, it shows how proactive you are, right? So that you can't just say, I have a plan and I will start after completing engineering, or after 1 year, or after 2 years I'll do my masters. So you do all these things, but in the back end you need to do all this back end work. So that shows how proactive and how interested to run your business, right? So I saw Santosh LinkedIn profile, so he's already started all these things, right? So I don't know how many of you are doing this. So, but that shows how proactive you are to start your own business, right? I did that. I was there in one of the startup, as I told. I was there for almost 3 years there, and from 16 to 19, I was with the startup, and I understood the business. After 2 years, I understood the business, what they do and how they do. So what all the marketing team does. So I started all this in the last year. So in 2018 itself, I started creating all these business pages and speaking to schools and going to schools without knowing my company. So there is nothing wrong in that, like you can do that. And that shows how proactive you are, and you should take risk. This is the most important thing, and your parents will not allow for sure. I'm not saying all the parents, at least 85 to 90% of Indian parents, they don't encourage you to start your own business. So even it was the same case in my home as well. So my brother is an engineer and he's in very good position. He's also from New Horizon. He's working in EY and has some 4 years experience. So my mom says, why you run like this, and why you want to take so much of strain, and why you want to speak to your so many team members. So sometimes, I always give Sunday as break for me, and I work for 6 days. So she says like they have lots of holidays, and they have some 24 holidays which they can take anytime. And there are a lot of benefits, if you do job. But what my aim is, I wanted to create an empire, like at least a small empire. That's one thought which I always had, and I tried explaining my parents. My dad was fine, and my mom, moreover, she was not ready for to allow me to do a business or things. But they never know what all I was doing, and even now they think I'm doing a job. With that, I'm doing all these things. Right, but in back end, all these things were happening, and now people are asking her like how he is doing and what he is doing, and it's a decent start, I can say. It's not a very big startup or things like that. So you should have that risk-taking capabilities, right? And so you should not be in that comfort zone. So I'll have a job, or I'll get some 50 to 70,000 or 1 lakh, which is there, and that is what I would suggest you to do. Maybe there are 2 ways of doing or being entrepreneurs, right? So one is in the early stage itself. So once you finish your engineering, you take some 6 months or 1 year, and you do some good research work, and you have keep some funds with you, or raise some funds from someone, and you will just get a lot of fund donating companies, like just fund giving companies. If you just type, you'll get, and that is one way. And the other way is work with a company or work with a startup on which field you want to go to. Like for me, it's unknowingly I went to an edtech company because I didn't get a job in software company. So I wanted to be a software engineer. Unknowingly, I went to this edtech company, and then I got some idea. I got some good experience of 3.5 years. And then is where I started my startup. So these are the 2 ways, one, just right away after your masters or engineering, take some time, do some good research, and get some fund. It can be from your self-funding or from outside as well. Right. The second way is gain some good experience. Right. So you need to observe everyone. You need to observe your founder or the director or the manager, how your manager behaves with you, or how your colleagues behaves with you. So then only you can build a good startup, right? So that's one thing, one suggestion from us, like how you can be an entrepreneur 2 ways, right? So the hardware part, and we didn't get the 3D printers or the drones or the other humanoid robots which we have. We thought this would be sufficient for now. And any question and answers, so you can ask any question, and I'll try to answer it. So any question? Go ahead. Good.
So the previous talk what I did, so once you complete your undergraduation, why did you go for your masters, and why did you opt this job domain instead of masters?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So Ravi sir knows about me more. So I was like, I wanted to finish studies. I didn't had that interest, But it's important, you need to do your engineering and masters. But from my side personally, I thought engineering is enough. I'll close my studies with this. And any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
So now we know that there's a lot of competition in startup business nowadays. Wherever we go, we find startups. Same with edtech. I've seen so many edtech startups which have come up. This is one of them. So what do you think? Like you see a bigger picture, right? You don't want you expect growth, right, in your startup. So what do you plan to do to see that growth in your startup and to make sure that you are chief competitor in this business? What is your plan?
Yeah, that's a very good question, I can say. So, yeah, as you told, when this COVID started, there are thousands of edtech startups which has started, right? And before it was very less, I can say. It can be higher education. Higher education, when you come, there are companies like Upgrad or Unacademy or there are many companies, right? So like the same, we have many edtech companies in K-12 segment, which is school segment as well. So K-12 means the kindergarten to 12th grade, right? So there are giant companies like Byju's or the White Hat Junior or many other companies, Vedantu. So all these are also one of our competitors, but they don't consider us as a competitor. But still, so we are a startup and we want to provide a quality service, right? So that's one reason we don't want to scale up just like that. So if you scale up just like that in a year or two, so you'll get lots of funds and you'll do lots of marketing and the negative feedback which is there, I think from White Hat Junior or the competitors as such, so the percentage will be high. You will have positive feedback as well, but the negative also will be there as 50% of it, right? So we want to do it slowly and steadily, and we don't want to have that negative feedback in our business. Even if they don't recognize us as a top tech company, we are fine with it. So we want to start slowly and steadily and do this business. So we have our own clients, our own schools and our own parents. They are very happy. More or less than marketing, we spend a lot in marketing as well. But the references and suggestions to take up this program from one parent to another parent or from one school to another school, we have seen that. That shows how quality service we are providing to our customers. So that's I think that's my answer for your question. Any other answers? Sorry, questions. ಯಾಕೋ ಬೇಗ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋರು ಲಂಚ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Do you think we are putting more pressure on the kids by teaching the C++ and any programming codes?
Yes, that
But you're pressuring more on the...
yes, that we hear from lot of parents. So why you want to teach in school itself? Grade 1 student, why they want to do coding or robotics, right? That's one question. That's a good question. Yeah. So what we do is we do it as a playful learning, right? So using Lego, it's more like play with learning. So other companies who are there, I don't know what they do. They are more of internet companies, right? They do it online and they show something to you, something later and run away. And the lifelong learning will not be there with those kind of activities, right? But what we do is we provide these kits to parents' house or also to schools and do hands-on learning, right? They don't know that they are doing coding. They build such kind of things and they try to program them. So they don't feel it as a pressure. They take it as a play with learning, right? Play with learning experience. And even parents see the positive response. That's what I'm saying. If you need to scale up very big, you need to do all these things. You need to create pressure on parents. You need to force sell the product. And the sales people who are there, they have targets and very big targets, and you need to push parents to buy it. And there are a lot of cases from the biggest tech companies which you can see, and which was heard in parliament as well recently, so that they need to ban such big companies. But as I told you, it's more of playful learning is what we are providing in schools. Can you repeat the question once again?
What's the CGPA required and what's the role of GPA? And
What is the percentage required for getting into a job, right?
what's the role of GPA like if we have less GPA or something?
Okay, so here percentage, see, you have the 60 percentage. That's the minimum percentage which you need to have, right? So any company which comes, there are companies like Tech Mahindra who need 75, but still 90% of the companies need 60 percentage, right? So you have that 60 percentage and you try to build yourself, the way you speak, the English or the way you speak with your friends. I know we speak Kannada or our own languages with our friends, but when it comes to a job which you need to get, right? So you need to have minimum 60 and the personality building skills, and you have aptitude also. So that you need to clear in the first round. That's mandatory, so we cannot do anything. But when we recruit someone for our firm, we see at least 60 percentage, and we see how they speak and how is the English and how they can communicate with the customers and things. Only 2 rounds. One is the percentage what they have, and one is direct interview, face-to-face interview, you can say. That's all we see. And we don't need that big skills also. Like you need to know how the wiring and engine works or things like that. But because it's more for schools, so you need to have some good English and at least 60 percentage as aggregate, and how many ever backlogs you have, it's fine. Yeah. So I hope I answered your question. Any other questions? We'll take one last question and we'll wind up. That's all. I think we'll wind up with this. So you can follow us in Instagram, and all websites and everything is there in Instagram itself. So I don't want to put all Facebook, everything there. So this is our official phone number, and we also provide internships for engineering students. So online itself. So online, we train on certain technological platforms, and also you might need to take some classes to students and things like that. So you will learn certain new skills. Also, you need to share that skills to your younger generation. So that's one thing about internship. We have a lot of students doing internships with us, right? Yeah. That's all. That's all from my side. Santosh.
Manjesh sir would give us a moment with this speech.
Thank you very much, Narasimha Naidu. Whatever he said was very true. See, being an entrepreneur, it is as you can say, it is very easy, in fact, to become an entrepreneur. First thing is you should have 2 things in mind. One, the company which you are going to start, the company product should be new. If it is new, then 100% your product will sweep the market. Okay, that's one thing. Or if you are starting a company which has an existing product, then you should do a thorough market survey where you are going to install your company or where you are going to set up your company. Surrounding around 10 kilometers radius, you should know other companies should be doing the same product. If you concentrate on these 2 aspects and if you start your company, 100% it will be a very good startup. Okay, and once you start earning more money, then you should concentrate more on your work. Once you start seeing more money, you should not deviate from your things. Okay, if you deviate, then you will be down. Okay. So with this, I would like to thank Narasimha Naidu. It was really a thank you. I would request Ravi sir to kindly give a memento to us.
Sir, on the stage, sir. Power, madam.